Welcome to Wesley Impact. This is the television program of Wesley Mission, where each week we look at an area of our community services work, speak with a member of our staff or a friend of Wesley Mission, and invite you to see a part of our congregational life. Later in the program, we will see the third and final part of my conversation with Danny and Leila Abdallah, which was recorded earlier this year. We will also see the next instalment from my 2021 vision message. One of the biggest challenges facing our Australian society is affordable housing. It's a problem, not just in our cities, but in regional areas too. I'd love to introduce you to the wonderful work of our Wesley Community Housing team. This is where we provide low-cost housing for people who, for whatever reason, cannot afford to pay full rent. Some of our tenants come to us from the old Housing Commission system, some as transitioning step out of experiencing homelessness, and some from our work with young people coming out of foster care. Ron, who I've met, is one person who's been a reliable tenant of Wesley Community Housing for over 14 years and who is benefiting from a recent refurbishment program we're rolling out across the state of New South Wales.
Wesley Community Housing is a community housing provider. Housing's really the foundation of our own wellbeing. As a faith-based service, we really look at the whole of the person. So we're not just about the transactions, we're not just about someone has a place to stay, we want someone to sustain the tenancy that they're in and to be the best person that they can be in that tenancy.
It's hard to explain, but if someone here wants to be left alone, we do that. Just do your own thing. If they want to engage, we do it, you know. We have barbecues every now and again, and, you know, poker nights and things like that. And it's a nice place to live. I'm an ex-cleaner. I've done 30 years in the cleaner game. As you can see with my unit, I like things neat and tidy, and most of the guys here are the same. They don't like slobs, they don't like any confrontation. We don't need it. We've been through it before. So it's a good place to live in regard to our own self-confidence, our own safety. The guys here, we look after each other, you know, with the guidance of Wesley and so forth, but it's a matter of give and take here, and it's usually man on man here, but we do the gardens and taking the rubbish bins out and bringing them in, and it's a never-ending sort of cooperation amongst all of us. I used to live in number 1, now I lived here. When I had 2 hip replacements. John thought it was better I move in somewhere a bit bigger, so lessen the chance of an accident and falling over or whatever. It's a big operation, a replacement, you know, and I had 2 of them.
So this is one of the units that have just been refurbished. In the whole entire block, there's 18 units. So what we've had done in here is we've repainted the unit. We've got some new flooring. If you look around here, you've got a brand new kitchen with a brand new cooktop, a new range hood. We now have a double bowl with a flick mixer. And my favourite is that we've got the soft close drawers. Our tenants are going to see that there's a lot more space and storage. You've got a corner pantry, and just over here we've got a pantry all the way from the floor to the ceiling. We're doing these refurbishments through some funding that we were awarded. In saying that, we've listened also very carefully to our tenants. Everybody deserves a nice place to live, a nice safe place, nice clean place. We know when we do something like this, our tenants always appreciate it, not only here, but anywhere.
2014, about 9, I think, of the 18 units got refurbished, and I was one of them. And now 2021, what's that, 7 years later, brand new painted. I didn't get new carpet, I didn't think it needed it. It's only been down 6 or 7 years. Now I get a new paint job, get a new stove. The rest of it didn't need touching.
Across New South Wales, we currently have, for our community housing programs, 411 tenancies, and they consist of very short-term tenancies up to 3 months, slightly longer term up to 2 years, and then properties like this property, which are longer-term tenancies as long as the tenants need it. Our properties in Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, the Central Coast, across Sydney, and quite a big number out here in southwestern Sydney. We will house anyone from 16 all the way through to 100 if they need housing.
Well, I've got photos of my 2 ex-wives, I've got photos of my stepchildren, 4 of them, and I've got photos of my own children, 3 of them, and they comfort me. You know, I don't look at them with hatred, I look at them as, I used to love that woman, I spent a lot of time with her. And the kids, they've all grown up, they're men now, 50 odd. It pleases me too, to look back. You don't stop loving someone even if you get divorced. And if the kids don't contact you, that's okay too. They're part of you. 12 months ago, when my legs swelled up and I thought I was going into hospital, you know, forever. The doctor said, you've got to get the blood flowing, so try and sleep in an upright position. My bed doesn't do that type of thing. But the chair, I sleep in that. And I've slept in that for nearly 12 months, every night. It's getting a bit uncomfortable now. I'll have to buy a new one. Harvey Norman, here I come, you know, and the main arteries in my legs, and it's clogged up. Too much smoking. And now they've letting very little circulation through. It's scary. I am petrified, to be honest with you. But what can you do? I'm 79 years old. I mean, how many bloody more years am I going to last?
Ron King, in the last year or so, he's had to have a major operation, and he's been talking with the doctors about where to and how he can work out the details of that. He was quite down about this, and so I had the opportunity to share with him about my faith and pray with him. And since then, his depression has lifted. It's amazing. And he was saying to me, whatever you're doing, Lisa, keep doing. What do you reckon? Huh? Even just do a little paint, just do a little paint to say, not even one smudge of a paint, please.
Too much on my mind.
But do you know what? When you do something like this, you kind of ground yourself and then kind of into another world.
Not about tomorrow.
I told you what, we have to, I know that, but I said that I'm going to pray for you, it's going to be okay. It is. Yeah.
It's a nice little flat. I keep it nice and tidy. I do what I can. But you shut the door of a night and it's empty. Just me. And that's when the terror about what's upcoming starts to get you, you know, and it's very easy to get depressed, very easy to let go and just say, oh, bugger it, you know, I give up. 8 months ago, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. You know, it sounds strange from a Western Suburbs bloke to say you're scared, but I was. At my age, you know, there's probably 3 in 10 would get up. You know, I'm like the chook in the barnyard, you know, I'm running the other way. But Lisa calmed me down, told me that things will get better, you know, just try and relax. And she gave me support, a lot of support. And she's been ever present in my thoughts, and she rings me every now and again, you know, and just, oh, how you going, and like that, you know. That helps a lot, especially when you live on your own.
Stories like Ron's are very common. It might be sickness to do with physical sickness, it might be mental sickness, they've just tipped off the edge from anxiety or stress. We see a lot of people homeless come to us. So there's a varied number of different things, financial struggles, gambling, addictions, lots of things that we see. And so we have an opportunity to pray for people. If we ask and they would like us to pray, then we can pray for them, and they know that we are happy to pray for them.
Lisa, on her own, has been so close to me, you know. She prays for me every night. I know that's a fact. I pray too. Some of her friends pray for me. It's wonderful. I can't speak highly enough of Wesley Mission. They've been absolutely fabulous. They involve themselves in each and every one of our lives. It depends on how far you want to take it. You know, if you want privacy, they'll leave you alone. If you've got a problem and you want to explain it, they're open. They listen to you and they'll help you as best they can. They're there for you if you want them. And it's not Vaucluse, but it's it's a nice place to live. Why would I want to live anywhere else? Wesley Mission has helped me the most because of acceptance. They accepted me rather than me accept them.
If you would like to learn more about Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can find help in our community services, connect with our church and congregations, discover a volunteer role that suits you, stay up to date on the latest news and information, donate to support our work, and help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and subscribe to receive the latest news and information about Wesley Mission directly into your inbox. Visit wesleymission.org.au.
If Wesley Mission can be of help to you or a loved one in any way, please be in touch. We are here to help however we can. We're here for you. The website and email address to get in contact is on the screen now. Over the past few weeks, we've heard from Danny and Leila Abdallah as they've shared about the unimaginable tragedy of losing 3 of their children who were hit by a drunk driver who lost control of his car. Out of their deep pain, Danny and Leila have seen remarkable change, not only in their own lives and in their local community, but across Australia and internationally. I spoke with them earlier this year. Forgiveness is not just an event, it's a process. How are you going on that forgiveness journey yourselves?
We're truly forgiven him, and our forgiveness has allowed God to work through our life and to show us signs and to carry us through it.
You know, one of the other things that has emerged out of this terrible tragedy is the establishment of I Forgive Day, and you publicly launched that on the first anniversary of the children's death, and had the Prime Minister Scott Morrison there and some other leaders, and I think again captured the imagination of our nation. Tell us about why I Forgive Day and about the process leading up to that and what you hope to achieve through it.
We are so grateful for the government, and especially for our Prime Minister Scott Morrison, his amazing wife Jenny Morrison, our Premier Gladys, and our Minister Bronnie Taylor, and all the ministers for supporting I Forgive Day. I Forgive falls under the mental health. It is celebrated on the 1st of February, where it's really I Forgive every day, it should be. It's a day to encourage people to stop, reflect, search the heart, and find someone to forgive. I Forgive Day started when we received an enormous response from Australia and around the world of people sharing their stories with us, how through what happened to us they were able to forgive, people in jail were able to forgive, people accepted their grief, people got closer to their faith. It touched everyone in a different way. And not only Christian, it touched all different religions. And some people were able to find their faith, and we thought it's amazing, how can we keep the message of forgiveness alive? So we approached the government, they supported us, and we launched I Forgive Day on the eve of the accident It is in honor of our 4 kids, Anthony, Angelina, Sienna, and their cousin Veronique, and our survivors, Liana, Mabel, and Cherbel. We've got a website, our Instagram page, our merchandise, and it's a great day for people. And we've already heard about a lot of testimonies where people haven't spoken for 10 years, and on that day they spoke together. So we pray that it will keep going and it will grow. And I think we're going to go launch I Forgive in Lebanon, and we pray it become a worldwide day.
We're praying that the message of forgiveness, which is the core message of the gospel, we pray that the world, will come united. This isn't just something exclusive for Christians. This is an all-inclusive day that we invite all walks of life. All people are welcome. Everyone has some sort of resentment in their hearts. Communities have that as well. That maybe that day they can stop, reflect, and see the benefits of forgiveness. Why Christ preached the message of forgiveness. Why was it so powerful, and how it works. And we pray that the whole world would unite just on that day in remembrance of our kids. And we did develop a website, iforgive.com. It's I with the number 4, iforgive.com. You guys are welcome to get online and have a look at it.
Wonderful. And I know, Danny, from our conversation that you would love if churches across our nation on a Sunday around I Forgive Day preach the message of forgiveness in particular. So that message, which is always current, always relevant and always important, is heard by people in our community, because our world needs more forgiveness. There's no question about that.
Absolutely, Stuart, and that's what we pray for. Imagine the closest Sunday to the 1st of February, all churches, all denominations, we all have that in common. Preach the message of forgiveness, of Christ, how He forgave us. And we go back and remember those four beautiful children.
Can I add to Danny? A lot of people struggles with the concept of forgiveness. They think, why do you forgive him? How do you forgive him? What is forgiveness? So Danny and I are trying to get some deep understanding of forgiveness. And we'd like people to understand that when you forgive someone, you forgive them because they are not aware of what they are doing. If that driver was aware, he wouldn't do what he did. So forgiveness, there's a lot of power and strength in it. It's a brave act of the forgiver. It's more for the forgiver
than the forgiven.
Danny, Leila, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and I want to commend you on behalf of all of us who are watching today or joining in this service for the remarkable testimony, the witness you are to the grace of God, the love of God. And the powerful message of forgiveness that you're sharing through your story. We want to commend you for establishing I Forgive Day, and we encourage all those who are watching to check out the website, consider how you might be involved in I Forgive and the message of forgiveness that it's proclaiming. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're so grateful that you would share something of your story with us. I hope you enjoyed that extended 3-part interview with Danny and Leila Abdallah. The entire interview is on the Wesley Mission website and YouTube channel and is available for you to watch anytime.
I think people are amazing. We can turn dark to light. We can fly through storms. We can change worlds. But we can't always do it alone. If you need help, we could work together. Find out more at wesleymission.org.au. We are here for you.
In my message last week, I talked about the Guerrilla Grafters in San Francisco, a group of urban activists who restored fruit-bearing branches to trees across their city, eventually impacting the entire community. I want to pick up on that idea of grafting life and love into forgotten and forsaken places in our cities, towns and regions. We do this by accepting God's call to be a people of soft hearts, sharp minds, hard feet and open hands. My friends of Wesley Mission, wherever you are, whatever you do, whatever service or support you provide, whatever congregation you are a member of, we are together. We're guerrilla grafters. We're renewing our world, continuing the work of Jesus Christ in word and deed with one act of kindness, one word of truth and grace, one commitment not to give up at a time. That is who we are and who we are called to be. This is our mission. This is your work. Together we're grafting life and love into the forgotten and forsaken places. And I don't care where you serve, whether you're on the front line or you're here in Pitt Street as part of one of our support services. No matter where you are or what you do, our hands are joined together in this work. We do it together, or we don't do it at all. But this is a new year. It's a new season. You have a new leader. And so the question is, how is God calling us to continue the work of Jesus Christ in this time, in this season that's opening up before us? What does pursuing our mission look like in 2021 and beyond? And I'm so excited that we're stepping into a strategic planning process where we'll start to answer some of those questions. And can I invite you, can I implore you to be involved in that as you're given opportunity to do so? It's so important that we hear your voices, hear your wisdom, as we discern together where God is leading and how it is that we're to live out our mission. But I'm here today to share with you some of my heart, what God has been stirring in my spirit for this season ahead. And here's what I'd like to say. I believe in this next season of the unfolding story of Wesley Mission that God is calling us to be people with soft hearts, sharp minds, hard feet, and open hands. Soft hearts, hearts softened with the compassion of Jesus. Minds focused on working for justice. Feet prepared to embody good news wherever and to whomever. And hands ready to extend the legacy we've been entrusted. Let me step through each one of those in turn quickly. First of all, soft hearts, hearts softened with the compassion of Jesus. When you read the gospel accounts, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, if you've never read one of those, start with Mark. It's like reading an action-adventure story. When you read one of the gospel accounts, or all four of them, you'll see again and again, Jesus was moved with compassion. He would see need, meet need. He was always moving to the margins. Literally translated, when it says Jesus was moved with compassion, he experienced the need of others as a kick in the guts. And it wasn't just a feeling that he experienced, it was a feeling that moved him to action. He was always moving to the margins. Like when he heard the roadside cry of two men who were blind and he reached out to them, he moved to them, he brought healing and restoration, a restoration of their dignity and their material circumstances. Jesus constantly moved to the margins, to the forgotten and the forsaken. And even though he was swamped by crowds for most of the 3 years of his public ministry, Jesus always had eyes for the one. He always saw the one. He always saw the need. But more particularly, he also always saw the person and the dignity of the person with the need. Swamped by crowds with all sorts of distractions around him, Jesus was always being moved with compassion. You know, the size of our organisation is a little bit overwhelming for a newbie like me, can I say? I mean, assisting more than 160,000 people last year, more than 22,000 people every month, 670 young people in our Dalmar program. I mean, all of these statistics are slightly overwhelming, and they tell something of our story. But there's only so much of our story that numbers can tell. Because you see, for Wesley Mission, as it was for Jesus, it will always be about the one. It will always be about the one. Why? Because every number has a name. Every name has a story, and every story matters to God. And if every story matters to God, it must matter to us as well. I'll continue this series next week and continue to unpack a truth that's been firmly in my heart since joining Wesley Mission And that's this: every number has a name, every name has a story, and every story matters to God. And because every story matters to God, every story matters to us. If Wesley Mission can be of help to you or a loved one in any way, please get in touch. At Wesley Mission, we are here for you, and we'll do whatever we can, wherever we can, to extend a helping hand of friendship. Every blessing to you and to those you love. See you next week.